Albion College White House Nature Center was made to stimulate awareness and understanding of our natural environments among college, school, community, and other groups of all ages.
So the Nature Center, I think, is like the biggest, best, most diverse classroom that we have at Albion College.
I like the Nature Center because it makes our campus unique, and there's a lot of different trails that you can walk on, and I really like hammocking, so I like to hammock in all of the trails.
And usually I go into the river, like I take off my shoes and like wear like shorts so that I can like go in the river when it's warmer, of course, because it's really relaxing and like the mud between your toes is nice. And everyone's always like, don't do that because they're leeches. However, it's really fun.
Albion College has 140 acres in the White House Nature Center. There are 6 trails: the River's Edge Trail, Prairie Trail, Bees Ecology Trail, McIntyre Marsh Trail, Stonewell Arboretum Trail, and the History Trail. Each of these has their own unique traits. For example, the River's Edge Trail goes along the Kalamazoo River shore and includes river and floodplain habitats. The Stonewell Arboretum Trail has woody plant identification, emphasizing the uniqueness of trees and plants of the state of Michigan. In addition, there are 25 acres of oak, hickory, and floodplain forests, 8 acres of habitat improvement including 4 small ponds, 3 acres of managed tall grass prairie, and 34 acres of farmland.
At some point, after my grandfather retired, and this was the story he told me, and again, I don't know details, I don't know who the donor was, but a donor came along and said, well, there's this land available, more land, which included the old gravel pit area where all the little ponds are, and probably the Stoll Preserve, but most of the nature center at that point was available, and he offered to buy it, but only on the only if it would be named for my grandfather, who he really revered, this donor.
Yeah, I really like the Nature Center because of all the wildlife that is there. I like watching the birds and the ducks and everything else that's there. I also think it's really cool that some professors take their students out to the Nature Center because it does add a unique experience to our learning, providing us with a new environment. Allows us to learn while getting some fresh air.
And Albion College is unique in that it has a nature center that's owned and operated, by the college, and so I'm here to serve the college, community as well as the surrounding community. So it's open to the general public as well.
I think lots of times students just want to get out of the crazy sort of headspace that they feel kind of trapped in all the time with classes and pressure and everything else. I think if they come out here and go for a walk, it's sort of like a lot of that kind of stuff just washes away a little bit. So I think it's a sort of break. I think it's peaceful. I think it's a reminder of what's important when all these other things seem like they're really important and maybe they're not.
I mean, certainly it's an area for peace and tranquility and meditation in the forest and so on, but also used scientifically, primarily by Dale Kennedy and Doug White in their Wren research, but it has been used from time to time by artists for photography and painting and so on. People hike, run, so on. Smoke weed, drink beer. See people swim. There's one spot in the river where people will swim. People take their dogs out there, and it's a community asset. And
for me, it's where I do my research. Almost 25 years now. So every summer I'm out there every day. So it's part of my scholarship. It's also part of the teaching tools for many courses, so introductory biology, maybe even your class has gone down there.
As a student at Albion College, I think the White House Nature Center is a really valuable resource. It's a chance to get away, also spend time in the outdoors, While I do play a sport and I spend a lot of time outside, I just feel like it gives me something to do. Not to mention that they have activities such as learning how to tap maple syrup trees or just cleaning up the trails and going on a minor hike. But I definitely think it's one of the things that makes Albion College so special.
I use the nature center just to, relax, just a nice walk through nature, look at the river, be chilling out there, hammocking, doing me, living my best.
13 and a half years ago, maybe 14, my wife Jess, who got a job here first, she was getting interviewed. We came from Ann Arbor to Albion. I looked at a map. I saw that there was a nature center. Jess was getting interviewed. I strapped the kid into my chest and I went walking towards the nature center. I got here. I saw the Kalamazoo. I crossed the bridge. It's like, oh! And then suddenly, I saw a mink and turkeys and a deer, and I thought, this is where we gotta come.
So we live in town, so we definitely use it. We go out there all the time with our son and take walks and just sort of enjoy it. It's a really beautiful spot. In our classes, in my classes in particular, I don't do a lot, because I teach minerals, we don't do a lot of really intense work, but sometimes in my freshman seminar, we'll go out and just sort of get out there as an outdoor space to sort of get a different perspective on Albion. And it's a really nice place to go to sort of change up the classroom setting, and it's close enough to walk to, so I really like that.
Yeah, and I've also used it for my first year seminars. I taught one seminar about parks and recreation, and so it was a really natural place to take my students to get them outside and to sort of think about these public spaces that we use for recreation, but also for education. So I've also had classes that have done mapping projects in the Nature Center, looking at different ecosystems, invasive species, also looking at some of the damage from storms. There was a large storm a few years ago that knocked down several trees out there, and so we actually went out and mapped out the distribution of the trees and the direction they fell. So it's a really interesting project.
I believe there's more that we can do. I think based on the nature of our college, we do utilize them. We use them in our intro classes, especially the evolution, ecology, and biodiversity. We take our students there for the field component of the class. I know our colleague Dr. Skin uses the place for his vascular plants class. The class I taught, or I've been teaching with Dr. Savell, the virus hunter, we collect a lot of our soil samples there. And I know a lot of our colleagues in English, Neil Christensen, Professor Neil Christensen uses this for his nature study class. I've seen a lot of other professors like Professor Sue Helling in education. I've seen them there using that space for classes.
Definitely. I think it's a underutilized resource. A lot of people, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. A lot of people just don't know that we're here. So I definitely, anytime I have the opportunity to promote the Nature Center and get others interested, in coming out, we do that.